Hello again, everyone. This is Louis Setti speaking as the Blue Ridge Reporter with a video entitled Ron Paul, a Christian Responds, Roman numeral 1. There'll be more in this sequence. And this sequence of videos is about the danger Ron Paul poses to the country and to Christians, especially Christian young people, because of his libertarian views. And I thought in this particular video we would talk about what the libertarian view is. The current headquarters, so to speak, the dominant school of libertarian thinking, or think tank for libertarian thinking, is something called the von Mises Institute in Auburn, Alabama. Von Mises was a genuinely free market economist. Regarding the economic financial work of the von Misesians, I admire that work and have often been a student of it. Other Christians have too, some of which hold leading positions among Christian thinkers, scholars, and authors. But notice I said about their financial and economic work. And what is that work? It's known as the Austrian school because of von Mises' early life in Austria, escaped from the Nazis before it was too late, came to the United States, occupied positions in academia which were not prestigious because of their schools he was associated with, but his work nonetheless became compelling because of its truth and insight. And the von Misesians, the Austrian school in that regard, is the antithesis of the Keynesian school. The Keynesian school is the school that espouses and has championed deficit spending. Keynes was an economist from England. John Maynard Keynes was made popular in the United States by Franklin Roosevelt. He wanted to expand government. He thought deficit spending would be a way to stimulate the economy. We've heard that before. And over time, the Keynesians became the dominant financial and economic thinkers and leaders and spokesmen and people in significant places in the political and governmental sphere, so that they totally occupied the field. So much so that in the 1970s, I recall early 1970s, the conservative Republicans had even adopted the Keynesian thinking when Richard Nixon, the hallmark conservative Republican, quintessential conservative Republican, while he was president, said at one point, "We're all Keynesians now," meaning, hey, I give up. We're all Keynesians now. Keynesian deficit spending defines what economics is all about. So there's great appeal for those who understand the free market, because the von Misesians espouse that. They're intellectually capable. They run a school of sorts, and it's quite a significant and growing influence. Ron Paul's economic views, his views about gold, his teachings about fiat money, meaning printed money by the government with nothing behind it but the government's taxing power, his opposition to the Fed, all comes from that line of thinking. I found that very attractive, and one of the reasons why I was attracted to Ron Paul. The danger is the von Misesians are libertarian thinkers in the sense that it's not just economics that drive their thinking. It is this humanistic, libertarian, freedom from government, freedom from restraint, a point of view. which takes us then into the social issues. And this is where the issue with Ron Paul becomes a little bit more difficult to perceive, at least it was, but he's made things more explicit, which is why I'm speaking to you on this video now. The social issues then, to the libertarian, are determined by what's between his ears. It's a man-driven, humanistic way of viewing what freedom is, what liberty is. Very, very dangerous. There's much language in our American history about liberty. Give me liberty or give me death. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The liberty provision of the 14th Amendment. The question becomes, what's the content of that word? What is the definition of that word? The Bible uses liberty. And I have a blog, and it's entitled God's Perfect Law of Liberty. God defines liberty. Some things are within liberty, some things are without it, and may not be pursued without being violative of God's word. So what fills this word liberty with its content and meaning is the danger, because the libertarians are winning that contest. Most Christians don't even know the contest is going on. This leads us into all kinds of problems with homosexuality, lesbianism, and what significance the libertarian view, beyond the political years, beyond the life years of Ron Paul, will have if his effort to advance this philosophy continues to grow. Because the liberty, as defined by the libertarians, will be the libertarian meaning given to government law, politics, economics, and the social order. I point out that in 1992, when Roe v. Wade was thought to be overturned by the Supreme Court for its bogus premise of privacy, the conservatives, pro-lifers, were surprised because the upshot of Roe was reinstituted, regrounded, given a new premise, and that was the premise of liberty through the Liberty Clause of the 14th Amendment. And by that claim, the Supreme Court then continued to hold a position that all laws in any state that would prohibit abortion had to be stricken down as constitutionally impermissible. Think about that concept now. Think about that dynamic. If a court someday comes to believe that liberty means the right for homosexuals and lesbians to marry, a court could strike down all the marriage laws in all the states that limit marriage to one man and one woman. Very significant. We'll get into now Ron Paul's particular views about homosexuality in the Bible. Christians should find this shocking. This is Lou Assetti, the Blue Ridge Reporter.